Hello everyone, my name's Ollie. Welcome to another PC preview. Today's preview is Animal Gods. It's a Kickstarter success by Still Games. It's not Deno Games, not Still. It's the name of the publisher. Still Games. It's a single player and what it describes itself as an old school 2D action RPG set in a dark fantasy world. Single player, key features about this game, Animal God battles, challenging the enigmatic animal gods, fast precision 2D, wield rift bow, flame cloak, and bronze sword. Non-linear world, explore dungeons in any order that you please. Responsive combat feel, tight controls, and power-ups for sword, cloak, and bow. Lives 09 mode. What's Lives? Unlockable difficulty challenges you to complete the game with 9 lives or less. It says 09, so it's like I thought that was some sort of special thing, but it's just 9. And that's all they've got on the Steam page when you go on the Steam page for Animal Gods. Which is a little bit interesting because if you go to their Kickstarter page, they mention just a little bit more. They talk about the story a bit, which I think it should have been in the Kickstarter on the Steam page, and not just left on the Kickstarter page because you don't know anything about the story. You're just like, You're just a hunter from the ancient years, and just. But then if you go on the Kickstarter page, it says Animal Gods is the stylized top action adventure set in the Bronze Age. Europe, 15th century BC, the game pairs the tight and polished action of The Legend of Zelda, A Link Between Worlds, with a cast of actors and touching story moments that remind you of the classic 90s JRPGs. I understand why they didn't put that little paragraph into the Steam page, because that could sound a little bit arrogant, and it's almost setting yourself up to be swung that back down, because if it's not a tight, polished action, and comparing yourself to Legend of Zelda, A Link Between Worlds is one of some people's most favorite games, and they feel like the combat in that game is really tight, and if you don't live up to that, sort of setting yourself to fail. And it also talks about the story as well, which, I mean, why not just put this in the thing? It says, the animal gods are falling. Once sacred, they are now husk-haunted beasts, lost to toxic fumes with a great bronze industry. Play as Thistle, a small and agile warrior hellbent on destroying the curse that plagues these creatures. Wield a 17th century BC sword and set the gods free. Again, put this in the Steam page. It will entice a bit more people if they know more about the story, because there's not a lot put in the Steam page. It would be nice if we actually knew some more about it. I understand, like, if you cared about the game, you'd go on this Kickstarter, like I did, because I do some research on these games, but like, a normal person's gonna go to Steam page and go, well, they haven't written much about it. I guess they don't care about telling me about this game. I'm not gonna buy it, and they'll just move on. Simple as. That's what I do with most games. But anyway, they managed to raise over 26k on Kickstarter, which was their target was 26k. They raised just a little bit over that, and the system requirements for the game, it says OS Windows 7, doesn't mention 8 or 10, but I'm sure it's just these new games. Some of these old games need to realise that they should mention Windows 8 or 10, even though they're compatible with them. Hopefully on release, which is the 12th of October, it will say 8 and 10, and then, put some people at rest. Intel Core i7-2435M. This is minimum, by the way, 2.4 gigahertz. Again, pretty small. You can see by the art style is sort of, it's really interesting art style. I say that with most of these games because I just don't know how to describe it. You'll see it on your screen. It's sort of this. You can see the Bronze Age era that they're trying to put into this fantasy world they're trying to incorporate. Anyway, graphics: Intel Heart HD graphics 3000, which is again pretty like very bottom tier. Like anyone with a 2006 laptop will be able to run this. Hard drive, 600 megabyte of space. All pretty standard stuff, but this game, can I say, it looks pretty cool. I mean, if they can incorporate the Legend of Zelda RPG solid bloody blood that they mentioned, then it would be fun to play. But let's see. I mean, from all the reviews, they've been somewhat good. They've been pretty good from what I've read from them. Most of the reviews have been very like bottom tier in terms of description and actually telling you much about the game. They just sort of describe anything you can find on Steam page, so they haven't been too useful. But the game itself the art style is intriguing, so let's hope it comes out and it isn't a complete total failure. Thank you, Alvin. Have a good day. Bye.